sucked into something I don't want to have anything to do with. That would be nice, I said, reaching for my wallet. What is your point? I need to hire you. I was stopped in my tracks before I got my wallet halfway out of my back pocket. Really? To do what? I want you to find someone for me. Well, to be more precise, it's not really for me. It's for my ex-wife. Wait a minute. Goldblatt married? Goldblatt with a wife? Goldblatt, a husband? This was a new one on me, something I never even considered. You've been married? I stammered. Truth is, I never pictured Goldblatt being in any relationship other than with, yes, as irritating as it might be, me. I mean, the guy isn't exactly anyone's idea of Don Juan, although I suppose, in theory, there are women who might find him, if not attractive in the conventional way, at least interesting in a specimen under glass way. Or maybe a project. Women love a project. They love a challenge. They love the idea that they have the opportunity to remake a man in their image. Maybe that was it. But whatever it was, my world was shaken to the core. And what would shake it even more would be to find that he was actually a father, too. But one shock per meal is more than enough, so there was no chance I was going to pursue that line of questioning. Unfortunately, the answer is yes. More than once, in fact. Holy cow, I blurted out, channeling the scooter. You're kidding me. At this point, the same bald, squat waiter who seems to serve us in every diner we patronize reached our table and dropped the check right in front of me. This is not something a man usually kids about. How many times? He held up 3 fingers. 3 times? You've been married 3 times? Yeah. I gulped. Are you married now? He shook his head. Nah, I'm kind of between wives, giving it a rest if you know what I mean. But chances are I'll be back in the saddle again soon enough. Okay, let me get this straight. You've been married 3 times, and now you're single, but you would consider getting married again? Man is not meant to be alone, Swanee. You might consider the possibility that your life would be enriched if you found your soulmate. You're fortunate if you find one soulmate in life, and I'd already had mine. She was yanked from my life as a result of a freak accident, a matter of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I didn't know if Goldblatt knew the circumstances of her bizarre accidental death, but I wouldn't have been surprised, because he seems to know a lot of things he has no business knowing. Some men are meant to be alone, Goldblatt. I'm one of them, and after 3 failed marriages, maybe you should consider the possibility you are, too. He smiled and puffed out his chest. What can I say, Swan? I'm a friggin' babe magnet. I would have laughed, should have laughed, but I was still processing the scary fact that he'd been married 3 times. That meant there were 3 women in the world who not only were willing to marry him, but did marry him. I wanted to know more, much more, everything in fact. But this was not the time, and certainly not the place, to delve into Goldblatt's mysterious, sordid past. Nevertheless, I promised myself I would revisit this topic in the not-too-distant future. Still in shock, I avoided our weekly "who's paying for this meal" tango, grabbed the check, and reached for my wallet. Again. So, want to know the story? He asked. Which story would that be? The story of why I want to hire you. Desperately. It's for Rachel. She was my second wife. The best of the lot, actually. Sweet kid. We had our problems, that's for sure, and maybe I should have stuck with it. You know, like giving it more of a chance. It's a little late for regrets, isn't it? I said. But Goldblatt wasn't listening. His head was cocked to one side, and his eyes rolled up in their sockets. It was obvious his mind was off in the ether somewhere, strolling down memory lane, I assumed. How long were you married? Let's see. He closed his eyes and started counting on his fingers. His eyes snapped open. Technically, I guess it was a little more than 6 months. 6 months? You call that a marriage? It was legal, if that's what you mean. And exactly what do you mean by technically? I mean, we were together for a few months before we actually got hitched, and then we were legally married for maybe 3 months before the annulment. You got an annulment? Not me, her. I would have stuck it out a while longer. You know, I'm really a traditional kind of guy.